Hi, first graders. Hope you're all doing well today. We miss you. We're proud that you're continuing to do your homework at home. Keep up the great work. This week and moving forward, you will notice that our read alouds that we're going to be sharing with you, whether it's me or Mrs. Conway, we're going to be talking a little bit about our reading focus and our reading lesson for the day. We're going to be practicing it with the read alouds that we're doing together on the videos. And then you'll get a chance to practice these lessons with books that you are reading at home, books that mom and dad or brother or sister, grandma, grandpa might be reading with you, and then also practicing these lessons with books that you're watching online as well. So today, our reading lesson focus is going to be on that good readers make predictions when they're reading their stories. So a prediction, if you remember, is where we try to make a good guess about what's going to be happening next in our story. It keeps our brain thinking about the story, putting pieces of the story together, and keeps our brain kind of moving forward, thinking about what's happening next. So I'm going to demonstrate that today using our story called Oink. I'm already wondering, this is kind of a funny title. You'll notice at the end here, there's a question mark. So it's not oink, it's oink. I wonder why these pigs would say oink and kind of question. Let me see. I'm going to flip over to the back and see if that gives me any clues. Oh, looks like we have some maybe other farm animals, a goose, a rabbit, some chickens. And I'm looking at their face, and they're kind of looking at the two pigs kind of in disgust. I wonder if there's a problem between these farm animals and the pigs. They don't seem to mind though. These are just some predictions that I'm making before I'm even opening up the book and reading. So you can make predictions at the beginning of your story, you can make predictions as you're reading your story, and sometimes at the end of your story, the author will leave you with questions and wondering things, and you can make predictions about how the end of the story might go too. So let's get started. Oink. This story is by Margie Palatini. Oink. Goes like this. Thomas and Joseph were pigs. They were sloppy, they were lazy, they were dirty, and they were happy. Oink, said Thomas. Oink, agreed Joseph. I don't see any problems on this page. They seem like pretty content pigs. Oh, you'll notice this is the same page from the cover of the book. The pigs were very content, means they were happy. Their neighbors were not as happy. They were not so content. That place is a pigsty, clucked one hen to the other. Disgraceful. Disgraceful, said the second hen with a knowing nod. Untidy, very untidy. Lazy is what they are, said the rabbit, not a green to be seen in all that pig slop, and a garden is just a hop away. And they stink, added the duck. My pond is downwind from those two. Oh, so I see what's happening. Those farm animals are kind of upset with these two pigs because they're so lazy and they just lay around. I wonder what those animals are going to do in order to get these pigs to kind of clean up their mess. They don't look very happy, do they? Maybe they're going to try some different things. Let's read and find out. Disgraceful, said the first hen. Untidy, said the second. Lazy, said the rabbit. Gee-you, said the duck. Thomas and Joseph cared not one whit of what was whispered. Oink, said Thomas. Oink, agreed Joseph. They don't look too bothered, do they? I wonder if the animals are going to get them to show a little bit more tidiness. They were happy. They were content. But their neighbors were not happy or content. They wanted something done about those pigs. And they wanted it done now. Whew, these animals look crabby now, don't they? A dab or two of fresh paint and that place would not be so bad, said the first hen to the second. Not so bad, said the second hen to the first. A diet of fresh vegetables would do them a world of good, said the rabbit. A bath is what they need, if you ask me, concluded the duck. So the neighbors made a plan. I'm making a prediction. I'm guessing these chickens are maybe going to give them some paint. That's kind of what she mentioned. And I'm guessing the rabbit's going to give them some carrots. And I'm guessing the duck's going to give them some soap. And they're all going to say, you need to start cleaning up your place. You need to start eating healthier. You need to tidy up. Let's see if that's their plan. The next day, the hens, the rabbit, and the duck walked over to Thomas and Joseph. They clucked. Tist, quacked, quacked, tist, clucked. Pardon me, said the first hen, but you pigs look terribly sad. Sad, said the other neighbors. Very sad. Oink, said Thomas. Oink, said Joseph. Oh, maybe they're saying, really? Really? They don't seem too bothered, do they? Those pigs are happy. I myself am always happy being neat and tidy, said the hen. Happy, so happy, said the other chicken. Perhaps if you paint your fence, you'll be more cheerful. Thomas and Joseph did not think painting a fence would make them at all happier. They were cheerful now. But the hens insisted. They gave the pigs 2 big brushes and a bucket of white paint. Oink, said Thomas. Oink, said Joseph. Those pigs are wondering, what are we going to do with that stuff? We don't need it. Let's see if those chickens can get them to paint. Dim-witted, whispered the first hen to the second. They are very dumb pigs. I don't think they even know what to do. Clueless, agreed the other. We will just have to show them. So they did. Oh, look at the chickens are painting. Up, down, across. Up, down, across. Thomas and Joseph tried. This way, that way, sideways, sideways, that way, this way. Looks like they're doing a pretty good job. Stop, stop! You're making a mess, cried the first hen. A mess, cried the other hen. They cannot paint, said the first hen to the second hen. We can do it much better. Shoo, shoo, said the chickens to the pigs. And the hens began painting the fence themselves. Joseph and Thomas don't seem to care. Oh, here are the chickens, still painting. Oh, look who comes along now. I wonder if she's bringing them some healthy food. Up, down, across. Up, down, across. As the hens painted, the rabbit hopped over to Thomas and Joseph. I think some crisp lettuce and crunchy carrots would bring smiles to your faces. Oink, said Thomas. Oink, said Joseph. The pigs were not at all certain a carrot could make them grin, but the rabbit insisted. She handed them each a basket and told them to go over to the garden and pick some vegetables for dinner. Look at these pigs' faces. They continue to be like, well, I don't know. I'm kind of happy with eating slop. Oh, it looks like the rabbit got him to go over and pick up some things out of the garden. tramp, stamp, yank, yank, squash. The rabbit was most distraught. The pigs were ruining the radishes, destroying the cabbages. Scoot, 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 she said to Thomas and Joseph. Insufferable hogs. She grabbed the baskets and began gathering the vegetables herself. So, just like the chickens took over the painting, now the rabbit is taking over picking the vegetables. Hip, hop, pull, pull, pull. And as the hens painted and the rabbit gathered, the duck waddled his way over to Thomas and Joseph. I wonder what he's going to tell them to do with this shovel. What you fellows need is a good long soak in some clear, clean water. Oink, said Thomas. Oink, said Joseph. Sure, said the duck. Go ahead, dig yourself a little water hole right over here. Nothing beats a swim on a hot day. Do the pigs look interested in digging a hole and making a bath for themselves? Doesn't look that way to me. I'm guessing what's going to happen. Just like the hens and the rabbit took over their jobs, I'm guessing ducks going to take over the job too. Being fond of mud baths, Thomas and Joseph were not convinced a water hole would be all that refreshing, but the duck insisted. He brought out a shovel and showed them how it was done. Dig, lift, dump. Dig, lift, dump. Thomas and Joseph took a turn. They couldn't dig. They couldn't lift. They didn't dump. Uh-oh, he looks pretty upset. I'm thinking he's going to take over. Move it. Clear out. Scram, declared the duck. He grabbed the shovel and began digging the hole himself. Dig, lift, dump. Dig, lift, dump. Up, down, across. Up, down, across. Hip, hop, pull, pull, pull. The hens, the rabbit, and the duck worked all day long. I'm exhausted, sighed the hen, dropping the brush. Exhausted, exhausted, said the second, dropping the bucket. Don't have a hip or a hop left in me, agreed the rabbit. I'm completely pooped, said the duck, dragging the last pail of water to the hole. This is interesting. All these animals were the ones working for the pigs. Did the pigs care at all, though? They didn't even care one bit about what was happening. They were content. They were happy with the way things were. There they are. But they were happy. They were content. The fence was painted, the vegetables were picked, and the hole was dug and filled with clear, clean water. The four admired their work. Those pigs could not have done it without us, clucked the hens. They don't know the first thing about painting a fence. Couldn't pick one leaf of lettuce without me, giggled the rabbit. They never even figured out how to use a shovel, snickered the duck. The four began to laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. I just love the look on these two pigs' faces. And then they stopped laughing. They looked at Thomas and Joseph. Crunch munch, splish splash, chuckle chuckle. You know, said the hen, I don't think they were as dumb as we thought they were. Not so dumb, said the other hen. Not so dumb at all, said the rabbit. Maybe, said the duck, but I still say those two are a couple of big stinkers. Kind of a fun ending to this story. I think that's the last page. Oh, there's one more page. Oink, said Thomas. Oink, agreed Joseph. That was kind of a silly story, wasn't it? Here all along, those farm animals thought that Joseph and Thomas were lazy, but really they were just content. And they actually got all the other farm animals to do these improvements by digging them a water hole and getting them some vegetables and painting for them. Thomas and Joseph are still kind of lazy and content. So the joke was kind of on the farm animals, right? So, readers, I want you to practice doing just what we practiced here in this story, where we make predictions and think about what's happening in the story and think about what might happen next. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.